Good morning. How are you? I'm so happy I get to share this with you. It's my essence to give these gifts. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to give this uh, in this way. It's just such an opportunity for me to share what I've been learning and what gifts I've been given through this practice and this process. So, really grateful, really blessed, feeling so abundantly satisfied by sharing these messages and these gifts. So thank you for receiving. It's a privilege, yeah, and an honor to share. I want to share with you exactly how to get the clarity that you want right now, how to move through any emotion or pattern or block that might be stopping you from receiving that clarity and creating that momentum towards the things that you're wanting. So I'm wanting to really like slim it down to the essence of what is important and take you through a very easy, quick series of practices that can transform your entire existence. If if that's your path, if you're ready for that, if that's where you're at, if it's your if this is your particular path. And of course, there's many paths, so whatever resonates for you. But yeah, I want to share this. This has been transformative, deeply transformative for me, and I feel so blessed and honored to share with you. So step one is to move into a state of clarity of being in terms of general clarity. You're moving into, from wherever you are emotionally, you're bringing your center back to center. You're coming back into your heart, you're coming back into your breath, you're coming back into balance. So the way that I know if I'm in balance is if I close my eyes and I focus on my third eye point and I breathe. Right now, when I do that, and I lift myself through the center point of my third eye. I lift myself up, and I'm building the energy. I'm building it upwards, and what I want to do is just either build the energy so that I'm feeling balanced, or I'll get a sense like right now where I'm done. I've already done this practice this morning, so I'm ready to go. There are different ways of doing this practice with the third eye meditation. I shared in a past video. I'll do it quickly for you here right now. So if you are feeling under happy, if you're feeling less than sort of centered, grounded, calm, clear, safe, centered, all that stuff, if you're feeling anything under that, then this is a great practice to just kind of bring you back to center. And so the practice is simple, and this is the base of every practice that we're going to do today. It's getting in a really comfortable position, closing your eyes, focusing on that third eye point, breathing, and you're really focusing, you're looking at that third eye point, and you're breathing. You want to kind of look through your closed eyes at that point in front of your forehead. And if it's really intense, you can count your breaths to kind of give your mind something to do so that it stops that momentum. It's kind of like a train that's moving forwards. If you want that train to move backwards, you first have to stop it, and then the wheels can start to turn the other way. Just like if you saw that scene in Titanic when they shifted the propellers from forwards to backwards, they had to first stop, and there was this kind of awkward and then the propellers started moving the other way. And so it's the same thing. If you've got negative momentum going, you need to stop that negative momentum and start adding positive momentum. And but in order to do that, first you need to stop. So meditation is a great way to just stop. So it's breathing, focusing on that third eye point, actually looking at it. And for me, it's like focusing on a spot just in front of my forehead. And you can count your breaths. can you just do that for as long as it takes you to come back to that center? And it's one of those things that I've tried this with many different emotions, and it always, always, always works. Every single time, if I'm able to stay focused and just stay with this and stay with my breath and stay with that focus and look at that point in front of me and breathe and move, just be present. Do not engage the mind. Don't allow the mind to do anything. The mind is a great tool, but when the emotions are unclear, the mind is just reflecting whatever those emotions are. And so I think it was Einstein who said you can't solve a problem at the same level that created it. And every problem, every sort of the reason that we have those negative emotions is because something in our consciousness, something in our mind, we're focused on something in a way that's not in harmony with our truth, with our highest potential, with who we really are, with what we really want. And it's always something that we're doing. If we just relax and just don't do anything and are still, and maybe like an animal in the wild, or like most, like a kid most of the time, it's naturally happy. There's a natural buoyancy, there's a natural love, there's a natural lightness, there's natural ease, there's natural happiness that comes from just being human, from being present. And all of our problems, all of our issues stem from not understanding this process, how it works, and not being able to control the mind, because we don't understand how powerful it is. We don't understand the reason why being happy is important. And I go over this in some of the past videos, but briefly, being happy is important because it's our guidance, it's our compass, our soul. We are an extension of our soul in this planet, and our soul is guiding us to what we want because it's been with us through this whole process, and it knows exactly where we want to go. It has this mountaintop view, and we're kind of down in the bush, and it can tell us exactly where we want to go. Based on the specifics of what we've lived and what we're intending and what we really want, and not only what we think we want, but what we truly want, what's going to actually fulfill us and bring us joy from a soul level, from a human level, from all levels, and also what is going to support those around us. It has the best interests of everyone at heart, and so it's this beautiful kind of all-in-one compass that's going to guide us towards exactly what we want, and all we have to do is follow it, and following it means playing the hot and cold game. So when you're moving towards what you want, it feels good. When you're moving away from what you want, it feels bad. And it's just being conscious moment by moment. Am I feeling good right now, and am I moving towards something that feels good, or am I feeling bad right now, and am I moving towards something that feels bad? And being really conscious and being really aware. And if that's not obvious for you, take the time to really be conscious as you're moving through your day. And when negative things happen and you experience negative things, try and remember, oh, okay, what was I thinking? How was I feeling? And what led to this? And when good things happen, try and remember, okay, what was I thinking? What was I feeling? And look for the patterns and just see on your own if that fits. And for me, it does, definitely. So that's step one, is to come back to your center, come back to your clarity, come back to balance. Step two is to start to build on top of that. And so, again, you can watch the videos. I did a abundance manifestation meditation, a wellness manifestation meditation, and relationships manifestation meditation. And this is all about building the energy on a specific subject or a specific scenario that you want to move forward on. And so in those videos, we just go over how to really, once you've got this base, because the base is the foundation that you want to build on top of, and the base is just a feeling of clarity, a feeling of happiness, a feeling of peace. And then from that point, you want to start building on top of that. And so the next step is to decide, okay, well, what do I want to focus on? Do I want to focus on something in my health? Do I want to take care of my body? Do I want to focus on my relationships? Do I want to focus on my abundance? So for focusing on our abundance, I'm going to take some time and really get a clear sense of what our ideal feelings and ideas are about abundance, and just activate them and get really clear about them. And in that way, we're sort of, when we do that work, we're actually we're moving, say our goal is to drive from point A to point B. when we're doing that activating work, we're kind of aligning the vehicle and putting it in the right direction. And then once it's in the right direction, then we can kind of let go and just drive. We know what road we're going down. There's not a lot of, we just need to kind of keep focused and keep moving. But there's a very important first step, which is deciding and choosing a direction. And so it's not as important to be specific as just to feel really good. So that's the most important thing there. And then once you've consciously, clearly moved into a place where you know what you want to focus on, the next step would be to focus on what's next. What aspect of that do you want to focus on? And so this is a fun tool for getting really clear about the next step in something. And so say your next step is, I want to create clarity about which opportunity to focus on next, which project, which business opportunity, that kind of a thing. So what you would do is just get really clear on your abundance and your intention around abundance. So you take that position again, you focus on your third eye, and breathe. And you just make sure that you're at that point where you want to take as much time as you need to breathe and to be just calm and present until you feel like you just have to do something. You've built your energy to such a point where it's like, I want to express. You're overflowing. You can't. It's uncomfortable to sit still anymore. That's the point where you want to be, not out of pain but out of excitement. So just taking a second to just reground and recenter. So I'm excited. It's like, ooh, okay, as soon as I get that energy, it's like, all right, let's go. So for abundance, so you want to get a general sense of what you want in your abundance. So by focusing on that, and again, watch the abundance manifestation meditation video for a more detailed analysis, but briefly it's focusing on that third eye, looking at in front of you, abundance. I'm so excited. There's so much abundance coming my way. It's so easy. It's so much fun. It's so good. It's so juicy. It's so joyful. I can't wait. It's so much fun. Everything's coming to me that I want. It's going to be so easy. I don't need to work too much. I don't need to do anything I don't want to. It's going to be fun all the way. I can't wait to get there, and I'm so excited about the journey. And it's not really about getting there anyways, because I'm only going to want more stuff when I get there. So it's just about being fun and happy on the way. I'm so excited for this. It's going to be so easy and so beautiful. And then sometimes I'll sort of check back and see if there's anything kind of in the back that might be in the shadows that I need to bring out. And so for me right now, it's like, oh, I don't need your help. I can do this on my own. I can figure this out. I know I can get there. I know I can get there on my own. I can figure it out, and I can attract all the help that I need. But I don't need anyone specifically to get me started. It's going to be so much fun just to move forward on my own and just to build this energy from where I am and from that place attract all of the resources that I need. That feels good. And it's so easy. It's so beautiful. It's so much fun. It's so special. I don't need anyone more than this. I don't need anyone else but me to do this. This is going to be so fun. I am the creator of whatever I want, and I can create all the things that I want and attract all the resources that are necessary. It feels really good. It's so exciting to know that I can do that on my own. I don't need anyone else. Don't need to have anything in place. Don't need to have any other aspects than just my ability to focus and feel clear to get there. That's exciting. I know I can do this. It's so easy. It's so much fun when you get clear and focused and moving forward. It's so easy. It's so beautiful. Yeah. So I focus on abundance and I just do it until I fill up. And I'm just like, oh, that's it. Yeah. From this point, what I've done in the past, I've been very, I wasn't able to hold a stable emotion, so I was always kind of up and down and moving in this way and that way emotionally, and I also had many ideas of what I wanted to do in my life. I'm very creative, I have lots of ideas. I'm kind of one of those, million miles a minute idea people. But that also created a lot of confusion because one day I want to do this, one day I want to do that. I wasn't sure, I wasn't clear, I didn't know what I wanted. So what I had to do in order to get more clear about what I wanted was to really sit down and first step was just to get consistently happy and consistently clear. Because when you're consistently happy, consistently clear, there's actually there's momentum and power there, and everything that we observe in the world is through a lens, and just like our career, if you think about think about in the broadest sense, our whole life is a spectrum of possibilities, and there's all of these possibilities that exist that could happen, and what dictates which possibilities get activated. Is it luck? Is it chance? Is it divine plan? Is it conscious co-creation with our spirit? Is it our decision? Is it others? Who gets to choose? How does that happen? And so what I've come to understand is that it happens through our consistent emotional stability. So wherever we're consistently at emotionally is the types of experiences and the types of relationships and the types of work, and that's what all of it is going to feel like. So if we're consistently feeling stressed and unclear, we're going to attract situations that feel stressful and not clear. And so it's tuning ourselves and honing in on how can we create space for us to attract that ultimate possibility for our life, that highest potential, that really beautiful flowering potential that we want. How can we tune ourselves to that? And this is that practice. So we're tuning, just like you tune an instrument, to that highest potential, and we're resonating in harmony with it, and then it starts to be drawn to us and us to it, and we attract that out of others. We attract that, the synchronicities that happen, everything that happens comes through that energy portal. It's like we're creating the riverbank, and then the river flows through that bank. It's kind of, it makes sense. If we dig a big trench and it's raining, the water is going to get funneled and move towards us. And so it's like, what trench are you digging? Where are you putting your energy? Because that's where all of the energy, all of the water is going to go. And so if you're digging that trench in happiness and joy and love, the water is going to flood in that direction, and all of those things that you want are going to be carried by that energy towards you, and then you're also going with it and kind of picking things up along the way, and it's like a co-creative dance. You're being drawn to it, it's being drawn to you, all of those things. So this is about getting really, really clear and really, really centered in that space where we just know that we have to get clear, get happy, get centered, get joyful, move in that direction, and the things are going to come to us, and we're going to come to it. So there's a trust there. There's a certain understanding and belief, a relationship where we know that what we truly want is coming to us, and we just have to. It's a faith thing, I guess, but it doesn't feel like faith once it's happened over and over. It just feels like inevitability. Once you understand the process and the principles, it just feels like, okay, if I do this, I get this. It just seems very obvious. At first, it might feel a bit like faith, but whatever helps you through it. I guess you just have to have your own experience of it, and you have to learn how to trust that if you do consistently move forward in a direction, things are going to happen. So so the first step in gaining clarity is to focus on that abundance. If that's where you're wanting to get clarity, you focus on your abundance. And then the next step is to focus on which project or which idea you want to focus on. And for me, that was my issue, was figuring out, okay, which one do I do? How do I, which place do I go? All that stuff. And so what I did for that was I just wrote down all my ideas. I had all of these different ideas, and I wrote them all down. And then I tuned myself to what I wanted. So I tuned myself to that place of abundance of, okay, this is what I want. This is how I want to feel. And I just moved into that place of like, centered, grounded. And then I went through all of my ideas, and I kind of took each of my ideas and I brought it up to the highest potential. So if one of my ideas was doing coaching, I would think about coaching and bring it to its highest potential. So like, oh, it's so easy, it's so fun, I'm so good at it, it's so much fun for me, I love it. It's easy, it's beautiful, I'm supporting people and moving through their emotions and getting more clear and getting more happy and transforming their lives, which is going to have an impact on everybody, because as these people get more happy and more clear, they impact more people. And wow, wouldn't it be great to impact people who do that for a living and like connect with coaches and other teachers? Oh, I love it. That's so good. It's so much fun. I can't wait to do this. It's so easy. It's so much fun. It's so clear. It's exactly what I want to be doing right now. It's so good for me. It's perfect. So I get really clear. I bring that idea to its highest potential, and then I'll just kind of put it in a place in relationship to the other ideas. And I'll do that with all of them. And I'll just pick the one that feels the most aligned, that has the most energy. And I'll also add into that equation my financial situation, where I'm at right now, and where I want to be, and what makes the most sense financially right now, what feels easy and ready and ripe and happening, and I can see that there's going to be a return if that's important right now to make money right away, that's going to happen soon, and all that stuff. Just kind of getting that feeling and tuning into that intuition of what I want. And on the subject of intuition, really quickly, it's interesting because I once was walking around the town, and for some reason I had in my mind that I wanted to go to Mexico, and so I was thinking about Mexico and excited about Mexico, and then I happened to see a sign that said, oh, fly to Mexico, and I thought, oh wow, that's amazing, that's a sign, that's my intuition. And then I was thinking something else about, oh, I want to go to Nelson, New Zealand, and take music school and this and that, and for whatever reasons I had focused on that specifically and really focused on it. And then on a Galliano Island, of all places, I was hitchhiking and got picked up by this guy who had just got back from Nelson, New Zealand, and had friends there and could get me a job and a place to stay. And I was just like, okay, this is crazy. This is not just random. But what I realized was that those synchronicities and that and the intuition, those ideas that just come, and the visions and everything, they're coming as a result of our focus. And they're not things that we need to do. It's not like we're being given this order to do it, or that's what we're supposed to do. It just means that that's what we've been focusing on. And so rather than taking intuition or signs as dogma of this is what I need to do, or if you're the other side who's like, I don't believe in that stuff and I don't want to follow it, that's fine too. So rather than taking that stuff too seriously, just get yourself into a really high state, get really, really clear about what you want and where you want to go and how you want to feel. And from that place, then when ideas and when synchronicities happen from that place, and you start to get the same messages and the same ideas. For me, I was super happy traveling around, very, very happy most of the time. And whenever I would be in one of those peak states of happiness, of joy, of just pure love, I would get flashes of Vancouver. And I was traveling around the coast, California, Oregon, and I was sort of looking for my base. Every time, for 3 months, every single time I was really, really happy, Vancouver, flash. I would think about what I just saw, this image of Vancouver, and it would say, that's your home, that's where you're supposed to be, this is where you're going, go there, move there. I thought, okay. And so it gets to the point where it's just kind of like, it's absurd. You can, when you get consistently connected to the same frequency, you get the same message, and then it just becomes obvious of what you're supposed to do. So it's all about tuning to your highest potential, and then listening, and then connecting, and then trusting your intuition, and then going with the flow. It's kind of like creating the balance of the masculine and feminine. It's creating a really strong energy that's like a foundation, that's like a container, or that's that riverbank. That's the masculine energy, is digging the trench, creating the container, holding that space. And then the feminine is like being open, being creative, being receptive to what happens and what comes through that. But if there's too much feminine too early on, and you haven't dug a trench and it starts to rain, you get a puddle and it just goes nowhere. It doesn't have any flow. And if there's too much masculine, you have a bunch of trenches, you dig a trench and nothing happens, and you don't really go with it, and maybe you just go and dig another trench, and it's like you don't get that flow. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel easy. You're not in that intuitive flow state where things are happening naturally, and it's just, ooh, feels good. But both have to be there in order for that that kind of resonance to happen, for you to both feel really clear and really centered and really focused, and then also have that playful, excited, flowing, like, ooh, juicy, this is fun, and getting to play in that. And yeah, so that's the basics of all this. Please check out the other videos for more detailed step-by-step meditations and other things. And yeah, stay tuned. You can hop on the email list. My website, shinekelly.ca. Blessings. Thank you.